Welcome to the Government News Brief for Wednesday, August 10, 2016. In the news, paying the past administration debts is affecting the country's development, government seeks public inputs as it tightens anti-corruption stance, and the manufacturing sector to get boost from Business Ministry's strategic plan. Stay tuned as we bring you the details of these and other stories. Thank you for staying with us. I am Azim Khan, and here now are the details. Government is upping the ante on theft and corrupt acts by state and public officials, and key to this is a bill that will have the public's inputs. Tiffany Rodius has the details.
Attorney General Basil Williams says a public consultation on the issue on Thursday will see various provisions of the bill being presented. The Director of State Assets Recovery Unit, SARU, Dr. Clive Thomas, will be addressing the consultation, and Chief Parliamentary Counsel Mr. Cecil Dujon are among those making remarks on the draft bill. Consultations will be held at the Pegasus Hotel. Williams says the bill was designed to address the organizational structure and functions of SARU.
It is designed to create the state assets recovery agency, which will be called SARA, which will be headed by a director, and that director would be a corporation sole.
The Attorney General explains that the bill also empowers the Director of SARU to access information and trace unlawfully acquired state assets.
What it does, it facilitates the director and arms the director with powers to reach money, not only in Ghana, but to trace money wherever it is in any part of the world.
The bill also makes provisions for the establishment of a Recovery of State Assets Fund and is vital in addressing corruption in public office, the Attorney General says.
The bill is obviously is designed to target the mischief of pillaging state resources and the pillaging of state resources by public officers, past and present.
The State Assets Recovery Bill was drafted with input from representatives of the World Bank and the United Nations. The bill is a civil recovery and civil remedy bill, which means it is non-conviction based. For the Government News Brief, I'm Tiffany Rogers.
Diverting state funds to pay debts created by the former government is affecting the execution of programs to improve citizens' well-being. This is a major challenge confronting the coalition government. Details in this report. Since coming into office, the APNU-AFC government has been faced with paying out large sums of money to settle outstanding debts of the former People's Progressive Party civic administration. Finance Minister Winston Jordan says the inherited liabilities amount to more than $8 billion.
It should have been paid. So to the extent that they don't pay it, somebody has to pay it, taxpayers.
The minister detailed some of the outstanding debts of the former People's Progressive Party administration which were paid by the APNU-AFC government. Among the list of inherited debts are $5 billion which should have been with the National Insurance Scheme, more than $1 billion to Rhodesia Beverage Company, and in excess of $1 billion to BK Construction. Minister Jordan explains.
Since it has come in, you have so many liabilities that are outstanding and so many judgments that have been given. And in fact, I'm not even counting the amount that we transfer into Gaisuku, essentially. I was just being given something here. How much is owed by Gaisuku in PAYE? 5.2 billion. If they can't meet it, who do you think has to pay it? The government. And the government gets its money from taxpayers.
The large payout of inherited debts by the government continues to have a negative effect on the coalition's promises of a better life for all Guyanese.
Then compounding all of that now is all this shoddy work that has been done on projects done in the past, whether it's Cato School, East Bank Road, you name it. Skeldon Sugar Factory, you name it, they pile up. So it is difficult trying to implement government's current program when we are under the gun, so to speak, with all of these liabilities.
The few payouts of debts created and left unpaid by the PPPC administration has starved the nation's children from improved access to education, senior citizens from increased pensions and improved social services, and Guyanese at large from enjoying the good life. The Ministry of Business is placing emphasis on the manufacturing sector as the strategic business plan remains under review for finalization. Details from Delisa Haynes.
The Ministry of Business Strategic Plan 2016-2020 will focus on modernizing the manufacturing sector and creating markets. Consultant of the strategic plan, Natalie Seeley, explains.
Technology will drive a new manufacturing revolution, and there are many, the speed of what technology is changing will provide different patterns of production. I mean, a lot of people is talking about manufacturing 4.0, where you wouldn't need the scales of production that you used to have in the past to make some process of production being more efficient.
For the first half of 2016, the manufacturing sector had been affected by the decline in demand on both the local and international markets. Selly points out the reason for Guyana's underdeveloped manufacturing sector.
Guyana is a small country, and that's always been a problem, not having enough big market to first start manufacturing for your local market and then exporting. That's usually the route that developed economies have taken. You start developing for your internal market and then you export. But Guyana cannot afford to do that because the internal market is pretty small.
It was also observed that in order to drive productivity and accommodate modernization, the local human resource must be developed to provide the requisite skills.
Technology, it's available, and that technology you can import that, and it's cheaper now more than ever. You have the power of iClouding. You have the power of producing with 3D printing, but then you need to have the capabilities. Then you need to have the new skills, which are very difficult to acquire. They are not very easy to acquire. You need to have not only, of course, your numeracy, your literacy capabilities, you need to have digital capabilities in order to be able to capture that knowledge and to put it in practice.
According to the Ministry of Finance's half-year report, the local manufacturing sector contracted by 14.1% during the first half of 2016. This was attributed to the reduced market share from higher imports of legal and smuggled products. The Business Strategic Plan will address these issues. For the Government News Brief, I am Delisa Haynes.
Indigenous women will be given another opportunity to upgrade their economic standing with the introduction of the Women of Worth WOW Microcredit Initiative to hinterland regions. More in this report.
Indigenous single-parent women will now have the opportunity to access loans through the Women of Worth program, which is being extended to outlying areas. Minister of Social Protection Paula Lawrence says that a number of single-parent women and women's groups in the hinterland have already submitted proposals, and the ministry is in the process of reviewing them.
What has happened is that we have found that we have several beneficiaries, but those beneficiaries are from the coastland. So we are going to move the staff into outlying areas now so that they can reach other women in those areas, so we can spread it around. They have already went to Region 9, and there are 4 women there who qualified for the loan, and out of the set that they met, what we have to now look at are those women who applied through groups.
This process will officially begin in September. The loan officers will be going into the hinterland communities across the regions to engage the women on the project and to work with them to ensure that projects are viable, Minister Lawrence explains.
The women would have had to be doing what they would like to be helped with for at least a year. And so it's very hard for you to do that. Many times when you meet the women, the officers will tell you that they come with an idea, but they didn't really think it out. So the officers will work with them. Where are you living? What is being offered in the community? What are the demands? And help them. So sometimes it's not what they're coming with, but it's what they leave with. You know, help them to do something else. Why don't you do this? What about this? What about that? And with their visits to the area where the person is living, they're able to better guide them.
The WOW program empowers single-parent women to take advantage of the economic opportunities around them and so increasing their participation in society. The sum of $40 million was allocated to the ministry to fund this initiative, which allows the women to access loans to expand business projects. Additionally, hinterland residents who are not single parents will also have access to loans through the People of Worth Entrepreneur Resource Project, POWER, which is currently being rolled out. Seneca Thorne for the Government News Brief.
Work is currently in progress to upgrade health services in the Upper Mazaruni District, Region 7. Here is that story.
Regional Chairman Gordon Bradford says residents of Upper Mazaruni will soon benefit from the services of specialist doctors.
Right now we have like 16 specialist doctors in the region, and most of them at present are stationed at Bartik. But as things unfold and we are able to have the necessary facilities in different areas, those doctors will be posted to those areas.
Camarang is one of the central health points in the Upper Mazaruni district. The chairman says that plans are in place to make the Camarang Hospital into a regional one. Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Alicock says that too many people are being referred to Georgetown for simple matters.
There are simple cases that are sent to Georgetown because you don't have the facilities here. And it is a cost to the government. It is a cost to the ministry because and a cost to the family, because when the family goes out there, let us say with a fractured wrist, they could have stayed here if they had a proper x-ray working and all the people here working. They don't have to go to Georgetown.
Bradford says that at present the region is working towards providing living quarters in areas where doctors and nurses will be assigned.
Our ultimate goal is that in the future we should have a doctor in every community. And so health posts, we are trying to upgrade our health posts from health posts to community hospitals. And so that is in terms of bringing better health care delivery to our people wherever they live in.
Upgrading health care services in indigenous communities will continue as provisions are expected to be made in the 2017 national budget for that purpose. Shanti Goberdan with his Government News Brief.
Those are the reports we covered in today's edition of the Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on GINA's website. We encourage you to stay updated and subscribe to our website and YouTube channel. All government and other information can be accessed from GINA's website. Join us again tomorrow when we bring you another edition of this, the Government News Brief. Thank you for watching.